fire it up. Yeah, it works, and I appreciate that. We try to be as, you know, a lot of our updates in Fork have tried to be a little bit more coy, but it's hard not to avoid the word adventure this or adventure that, and let's see here. And oh yeah, I remember what I was going to say. And Golden has been mostly working on adventure mode stuff for a while, so
it's been a while.
Yeah, Termin, I did try to avoid leaving merges with adventure mode active, but I probably did it a few times by accident. All right, Terminus says we're recording, so we'll go ahead and get started. So, welcome everybody. Appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today. All right, but that aside, I probably should have put a little bit more thought into this. I really think adventure mode is potentially going to be the culmination of kind of what we've been working towards. Stage mode was a required part of us to kind of put together a single player adventure. We had to have platforming in place. We had to have all the code in place, enemies, hazards, all these things. And fortunately, all of our work with stage mode is what has gone into laying the groundwork for adventure mode. So I want adventure mode to be sort of the actual one-player experience. At this moment in time, it's planned to be a one-player only mode, but I do think that there's room potentially to make it multiplayer. But for reasons you'll see, that will be a little bit tricky at times. But the one thing Mega Man Arena has always lacked, for good reason, it was built to be a multiplayer game, is the idea of a one-player. A lot of people refer to story mode, and yes, we never made a true story mode, but this will probably serve the role of that. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. Where would we go here? Hey, sheep. Can I share my screen? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and I'll just share the application. All right. So hopefully, let me see here. I gotta turn up the volume again. All right, there we go. All right, so welcome to adventure mode. So this is walking around Airman stage. We see it's pretty much trying to make a somewhat faithful recreation of the original Robot Master stages. But then as you explore the areas, you will find that there's tile sets from other stages. So what's this I see? This looks like this could be Quickman stage. And we just discovered Quickman stage. So we are talking... Whoops. I glanced at chat. Adventure mode is actually a Metroidvania open world style game where we are walking around here. I'm going to go ahead and die. And exploring a wide region full of different areas. So maybe Airman stage and Quickman stage are a little too tough. We see some treetops. Yes, the tiling is all temporary, obviously. We see on Woodman stage. I don't know if you guys can hear the music, but the music is changing. It kind of fades out as you do a stage transition. And then it starts up the new music on the other side. We could possibly go to Quickman's area from here. We'll just kind of keep exploring Woodman's area. And so hopefully with some help, we'll actually get some real tiles in here and see that this could look like a real stage. How about that? But we've got so many enemies already coded from stage mode, and we've got tiling, and we've got all of the other aspects from stage mode that this is something we can actually start to put together. We see Airman stages over there, yeah, a little janky. And down here, we could fight Hot Dog, or we notice this tile over here. Hey, maybe that's where Metal Man stage is. How about that? And so what we're doing now, we've got a whole different, very broken pause menu at this point. But we pull up, and thanks Golden for the banana icons.
Oh, yeah, that was my.
And we see that we're actually putting together a map. So we discovered Quickman's area over here, Airman's area is up here. I don't think there's anything we can do, right? Gold, yeah, Jake, we did. So Woodman's is orange. We discovered a Metalman stage here. So Region 3 is available as well. We haven't found Region 3. In fact, let's go ahead and show that, I believe. So if I restart this. Also noticed this wonky looking thing up here. This is going to teleport us to the Mega Man 3 region. And so we can teleport around between regions. So when we look at it and we zoom out, actually here, let me change this. Going to stream Game Maker. And we look at the whole region. This is the Mega Man 2 region. I expect it to look very tiny on your screen, but it's a very large area. We've combined 8 different robot masters into one single room in Game Maker. And so they're all tightly locked together. We have some blank spaces in here. W means that there's a warp that goes to another region. And then we're planning to have a region map where, you know, Mega Man 2 connects to Mega Man 3, and then Mega Man 3 will connect to other places. And what's going to end up happening is the further away you get from your home region, the more difficult things get. So yes, that is the entirety of Mega Man 2 all put together here. We're working on the other ones. We've got, you know, Adventure 3 here that Golden's working on. He's got like Snake and Hard and Magnet, some amount of Top in here. We're going to keep working on that. I started Mega Man 1 the other day, Iceman and Fireman. And so we're going to, depending on, well, I'll talk about scoping here in a little bit, but obviously the more regions that we can add in, the greater the scope or the I guess the breadth of the mode will be. All right, let me go back to sharing actual Mega Man Arena. Oh, that's weird. Okay, wait. It's only allowing me to share Game Maker. Why isn't it? Oh, share. There it is. So, speaking of difficulty, so as you get further away from your home region, things get more difficult. So right now, everything deals twice as much damage. So instead of 3 damage, this is dealing 6 damage. Because it's twice as much, and he takes twice as many hits. So it's going to make it harder for you to go further away from your home area. The difficulty increases as you go. So, you know, if you didn't notice in the pause menu, we do have attack, defense, speed, stats. Those stats, there's an RPG element to this, where as you defeat enemies, robot masters, then you will power up and hopefully be able to handle or tackle greater challenges. So, try using Hardman on those quick laser beams. Yeah, so that's exactly right. There are going to be some areas that like slow characters can't make it to, characters without high jump can't make it to, but you boost your speed stat and stuff, and you'll be able to, yeah, we'll get to the bolts, in-game viables, yes. Because again, you have to power up in some way, shape, or form. Now, the goal of Adventure Mode, for those who have played Super Metroid, if you think about Super Metroid, you've got like the ability to go, you have to go around and beat all 4 of the major bosses, and then that allows you into the final area. So yeah, Jose, the shop that you saw was an actual shop here. So you have to go around to these different robot masters, and you have to get the keys. So the green key represents a key in your home region. Metal Man has to be Airman for right now, is all temporary values. Collect the green key, which has the green difficulty, which is a 1-to-1 damage ratio. But then you have to go into like the Mega Man 1 region, find Cutman's area, get his key, get Needleman's key, get Drillman's key, whatever the situation is, right? And so you're going to have to go get a very difficult key somewhere. And what this allows us to do, because if you think about a Metroidvania where you're starting from the same spot, right? You think about a Metroid or a Castlevania or a Hollow Knight. I've been playing Hollow Knight lately. Like, the game is designed for you to start from a specific area. And depending on who you pick in this mode, you're going to have different abilities and different powers, and you're going to be starting in different areas. And so this allows us to create a dynamic Metroidvania where you're going to be able to explore the area from different the world, starting from different areas, starting from different regions, still have an objective, collect the 4 keys, unlock Wily's final area, and you go into that final area. So the world is just a collection of regions. So the Mega Man 2 region we saw is just one region, and then, oh, you're just making a meme joke. I thought you were asking a question. Those numbered HP and EP bars would be pretty good in this mode. Yeah, we'll see. This mode will require some things like that. Possibly some changes. I do have, let me demonstrate this real quick. So if I stop sharing the screen and I fire up my adventure tester, this one here. Okay. Stream. Oh, this one's louder. What we got? Okay, there we go. Change the volume a little bit. Okay. All right, so let's say we got across to Airman's area here. Not exactly sure why he's green, but hey, you know what? So we see he's taking a lot of damage because he is a green boss. So because he is my key guy here, you guys are seeing this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so Airman has been defeated. I'm going to collect the green key, and then every Robot Master leaves behind a boost power-up. So Airman, I think, is defense. Yeah, so my defense went up by 10. So, yeah, Jose... Oh, and also I found that some characters can't get out of this room without a platform, so we're going to have to add platforms. Some gates don't allow you to go backwards. And so actually a lot of stage design is going to require us to make sure that we can actually traverse the stage backwards. Because I'm going to have to go to a Robot Master, defeat him, and then leave the chamber and come out this way. So you see up here, funny enough, Jose, we're thinking about making the Wily panel colors based on the region you're in. So I don't know why he was actually green. I think there must have been a debug setting that I left enabled or something like that, but the panel being green is actually there. Okay, a couple of things. So let me, wait, hold up. Let me make sure. So when you beat obviously Airman just blew up there, but we're going to have the key guys warp out, and then you have to play them again as a Mega Man nod, right? When you go to the Wily area, you have to replay Robot Masters, and so you want to collect the keys, but obviously you need to power up enough, so you're going to go around. I'm still going to go over to like Woodman's area, and I'm going to try to beat Woodman so I can get his power up, right? And so I happen to know there's a ladder down here. So I come down to Woodman's area. Now I can, Woodman again is part of the green area, so I can come in here and hopefully beat Woodman and get another power up. I'm not sure if I've actually, I guess they're all just using a different, yeah, okay, I was going to say, I've not actually played Woodman. Now, in a perfect world, okay, yeah, there we go. So Woodman gave a defense item as well. So now my defense is 220. So I can go around to the different Robot Masters and try to collect as many power-ups as I can. That'll allow me to be able to beat harder regions. So I probably don't want to go to the Mega Man 3 region until I've powered up enough, but then I can go to the next region, start to power up even more, and yeah, that's that. So let's see here. So if I do this, let me see here. On to the next thing. Okay, I did leave the music on because I wanted to demonstrate that the music faded, but let's go ahead and kill that. All right. So now let's see what a start looks like. So everybody can see this okay?
Yep.
Okay. So I guess I'll catch up on chat when I can here. Jake, let me know if anybody says anything that should be addressed. So we have the ability. We're going to have multiple profiles available. This is obviously a very, very early version of this. We just got 2 save files here. I'm going to start a new game, and let's say I want to play as Airman. So I pick Airman, and it starts me in his boss room. So this is what I mean by everybody. Oh yeah, sorry for leaking Gyro Man. A lot of people knew we were working on him. Actually, I think everybody did, didn't we? Oh well, either way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we already leaked him like twice.
Yeah, he's been in for a while. Okay, so Airman starts in Airman's chamber, and so that's what I mean by like starting in different starting in different regions, different areas. So like if I'm a Mega Man 3 Robot Master, now that's my green region, and Mega Man 2 will be like the yellow region, and we'll have more of the like it'll be a different path, right? Every Robot Master will have a different path through the game because you're starting in a different area and a different region. So you always start in your own boss chamber. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on chat here. Are the bosses randomized? We've talked about, actually Prime had the idea that we create a randomizer option for this. I think what we'll do is every Robot Master will have sort of a dev intended path. So like, hey, this Robot Master should fight these Robot Masters for the 4 keys. But then we'll also have a randomization option because it should always be beatable, right? You should always be able to find them eventually. And maybe a randomization is a fun way to do that, especially since we can lock in seeds and such. Let's see here. Termina says there'll be a no power-ups run. More on that in a moment, Termina. You're jumping ahead. So, let's see here. I don't know. If you guys had anything you wanted me to address, I'm trying to scan through this real quick, but let me know. I do see there's a question about how high jumps. So check this out. So we've got now finally a power wheel. So I can purchase balloon from the shop, and woo, now I can spawn balloons, just like Lucky Charms, hearts, stars, and clovers, horseshoes and blue moons, pots of gold and rainbow, and the red balloon. Okay, so hopefully everybody is quite familiar with the Lucky Charms.
I've never heard that in my life.
Good night. Okay, so characters will be able to characters who don't start with slide. We're going to allow you to purchase a slide, so you can go through slide paths. We're going to purchase do things like purchasing super arrow and balloon, potentially like a proto coil, proto jet. All the characters who start with all of that, fine. They start with a high jump, right? But like Airman can't get out of his own chamber to start with. Without the platform at least. And so yes, characters, as you upgrade speed, as you get new things like the balloon, and that'll open up new areas and such. Okay, yeah, slides for non-sliders. So like Hardman and Airman will be able to slide potentially.
It's time for everyone to have a pet the dog sprite.
Well, so, yeah, I don't know. We don't have
Everyone can pet the dog.
Indeed. Okay, so let's talk about that shop real quick. Jake, did you want to demonstrate that?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let me. It's loading.
So the plan is to have a bolt-based system. For those who have paid attention, you know how much I hate a system that encourages you to grind. So you will not be able to grind bolts from enemies here. Instead, bolts are going to be a little bit more Mega Man 8-like, where we will have bolts in certain places. You will you'll also be able to collect power-ups in certain places. You may have noticed that there are some areas in that region that are like slashed out. They're like neutral regions. Those will be little platforming challenges where you can earn yourself a power-up in one way or another, potentially a large bolt. Go ahead and share your screen whenever you're ready. I know it's compiling. But the main idea for us to be able to for a player to collect bolts is to collect artifacts. So we're going to have an artifact in every stage where you can collect it, take it to Dr. Light, sell it for bolts, and then use the bolts to upgrade. Okay, so you've got multiple ways to power up. You can, what Italian? You can defeat robot masters to power up. You can find the native power ups. You can find the artifacts, sell the artifacts for bolts, and then use the bolts to power up from auto. All right, go ahead, Golden.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever played, what is it, Great Cave Offensive? It's basically the same concept. Everybody's got an artifact that you can collect. But then in this game, you can actually sell them. So I'm going to come talk to Light here. Oh, it is lagging hard.
Great Cave Offensive is was
very
we take
hard.
heavy influences from Great Cave Offensive. I'm not going to lie.
There we go. It's lagging really bad.
Yeah, we're not sure why Golden's computer's lagging right now, so just be patient. Who am I? Yes, we get dialogue boxes. That's a big thing that Golden has been working on.
Took me forever. Very long time to get dialogue boxes.
It's basically what he's been working on for 3 months straight.
Yeah, should be a pretty robust system, though. So now I can go to sell, and we'll take a look here. And you can see I've got these 3 artifacts here. And I can go and I can sell them. So let's just like sell the magnet, sell the top hat. Oh, and it crashed.
Excellent.
That's great. So you sell artifacts and then you get a certain number of bolts for each artifact.
Yeah.
And then you can sell those or you use the bolts to buy, probably from auto, items that you can then use, like the balloons and such. Other power-ups.
Yeah. So bolts are the currency, but the way you get the bolts is by collecting artifacts and selling them, and potentially finding them in places. We've got some ideas. Like I want to have like not a shiny enemy, but like a golden enemy that you can find in each stage area. Maybe everyone has one, or maybe there's just like a few scattered around that allow you to collect bolts that way. So I want you to be able to power up without having to defeat robot masters, and so that's a factor there.
One other thing that I forgot to show is we've got an artifact menu. So you can see all the artifacts you've collected.
Oh, yeah.
And they've all got a description that I wrote myself. Very clever, very comedy.
Not levels.
Also,
go ahead, Jake.
A little something I did. We got quick map.
I forgot about the quick map.
Yeah, and so you can kind of see the rooms show up in real time. I died because it's really hard to control when your inputs go in 3 seconds after you press them. But that's pretty much what I've got to show off.
Okay. We're getting close to done. So there's just a couple more things. So we are planning to add some secret bosses in here for the sake of owning our own IP. We're going to use Runix bosses. So we're going to have we've got Diamond already, so we'll have Diamond as a boss that you can find. We're going to have Emerald and Sapphire and Pearl will be joining us. So that'll be fun to get 3 new characters in there. And then we are going to have our ending. So what is the goal? Again, the goal is to collect the 4 keys, get to Dr. Wily. The background story is going to be that, go figure, Wily is digging into something he shouldn't be digging into. He found an ancient robot, and he is trying to make it work. So your goal is to basically go stop him, and with a normal playthrough of this game, you're going to get into the Wily area, and you're going to find Wily. He'll have a Wily machine, so we're going to build a custom Wily machine as a 2-phase fight, sort of a traditional Mega Man ending. Keeping in mind that you also have to re-defeat the 4 robot masters that you... it's basically
4
Super Adventure Rock Band. Yeah, it's very similar to that. However, we do have, and this is what Termina kind of stumbled onto earlier. Yeah, the Y machine. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to turn this into the actual story mode for the game, guys. I don't know if that startup script is ever actually going to turn into anything, but it is what it is at this point. So then we've got the ability. Okay, so yes, we're going a little bit Undertale on this. You may have picked up on the fact that your robot master is going to be walking around pretty much destroying every robot master that you can find because you need to power up and get the power ups and everything. And so that, of course, leads us to a little bit of a moral quandary here, which is like, why are you walking around destroying a bunch of robot masters who are presumably innocent in this whole thing, just so you can power up?
Presumably.
Presumably. So we are going to have a run, an annihilation-based run, where if you go around and you destroy every single robot master, including the protagonists like Proto Man and Roll and things like that, that you're going to have a final showdown that's a little bit different. It will be a battle with Mega Man, and it will be a very, very, very difficult fight. So yes, a little Undertale genocide route influence in there. And of course, on the other side of that, because we have so many ways to power up outside of defeating robot masters, you don't actually have to destroy anybody other than the keyed robots. And as we already said, the keyed robots are the ones that teleport out. So if you just go around collecting the keyed robots and you power up and you go collect artifacts, you sell artifacts, you power up that way. Now you can hopefully even defeat. Really, what the challenge is defeating the black keyed robot, the hardest difficulty robot master to get his key, and then you go in, and so in that case, you're going to actually fight the ancient robot that Wily has been working on, and it will be a more of a fun fight, I suppose. A little bit again, when you think about Undertale, the genocide route was a very difficult boss fight, and the pacifist route was. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You can't actually lose that fight, I don't think, against Azrael. Can you? I don't think you can lose it. So
I don't think so.
A few stretch goals to consider. So Jose, you brought up OCs, or hot and cold at least, or hot and cool. So there's as you can tell, there's a lot of scoping to be talked about here. Can we actually make like if we were to, like, in a perfect world, we would have every robot master that's in Mega Man Arena have their own area. So we don't have to add all of the characters from, Mega Man 8 into this because we don't have all of those. So in a perfect world, that's what we do. Now, from a scoping perspective, I don't know if that's realistic. So at first, we're going to start with the first 3 or 4 Mega Man games, and we'll see if we can make more. If we can make more, then yeah, we can explore OCs and such. But right now, I'm just going to have a room where you can spawn in a character. So like, again, Airman spawns into Airman's chamber. If you pick a character, and this helps us address future character ads as well, you pick a character like who wouldn't have like a Met Man or a Cool Man, one of our secret characters, they wouldn't have a room to spawn into, so they just spawn into one of these generic rooms. And then if we add Centaur Man one day, right, because that's going to happen, then we don't have a room for you to spawn into because we never made Centaur Man an area, and therefore he's just going to teleport it, or he'll teleport into that generic room. So but yeah, I mean, if scoping goes well, I mean, then we could potentially, or even in the future, add in like an OC region and give Hot and Cool and Met and such just kind of their own little short stages. But I don't see that being very likely, unfortunately. So the sort of the true ending is definitely the pacifist run. That's the idea. It's the sort of the challenge mode where you have to get through without actually defeating any robot masters. You're gonna have to deal with being underleveled, underpowered up. Sheep, you asked a while ago if there's actual levels in this, and there aren't actual, like, you're not like level 1, level 2, level 3, but you are powering up your attack and defense and such a little more fluidly. If you do the pacifist run and you defeat all 4 of the runic secret bosses, then that is the true ending that you get to see. So, okay. Very realistically about this, I don't know if this can actually get finished in this calendar year. This is probably a 2027 release date, but as you can tell, we've put a lot of work into it already and a lot of groundwork has been laid. I will say, if Mega Man goes genocide, Jose, I actually have a plan for that. Mega Man shows up and accuses you of being copy robot. Yeah, so yeah, you fight him as Mega Man. So you basically are copy robot at that point.
Reminds me of something.
Not as a separate character. I mean, you pick Mega Man and you fight through as Mega Man, but and we are talking about, like, I would love Mega Man to have a different type of run where he actually collects Robot Master powers and there's weaknesses and you can play through it like an actual Mega Man game. I think that would be a lot of fun to give him sort of his own custom playthrough compared to everybody else, but again, stretch goals. The number one challenge to this, we could pretty well get this out the door, I think, if we just relied on the Mega Man Arena AI code. But if we want people to be able to do things like pacifist mode, you have to have boss patterns. So the boss patterns are going to be very, very important. This is one reason why I've been pushing for some of the other devs to learn how to code our robot masters, is because we basically need every robot master to be coded in some way. Even if it's not 100% accurate, it just needs to have a somewhat authentic boss pattern. So if you are on the dev side of the house and you want to help make this happen, it's really going to come down to how many robot masters can you help us code on the AI side. That is absolutely going to determine the scope of this, because building out the regions takes a lot of time, but not months worth of time, right? Like, we're going to have to do a lot of play testing, see what areas oops doesn't work to go backwards on, things like that, right? Like, we're going to do a lot of debugging and troubleshooting and such, but like, we'll get through that. I have no doubt. The question is, does it take us a year to get Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 Robot Masters coded? And if so, then the scope of this thing is going to basically be 2 or 3 regions at the most. But if we want to expand it to say, hey, let's add a Mega Man 4 region, let's add a Mega Man 5 region, well, that's going to require us to have the RM code. Because I really just don't think that this is going to be a very fun mode if the bosses don't have patterns. If they just spam Mega Man Arena shots style, and then it's basically impossible for you to beat a very difficult robot master without powering up to the extreme. All right, I think that's about it. Again, it's an open world Castlevania style. We're gonna throw some fun things in there, like have multiple endings, have secret bosses. You can power yourself up by defeating robot masters or by collecting artifacts, selling them to the shop. Me and Golden especially have just spent a lot of time talking about this and figuring this thing out. Like the structure, what it's supposed to look and feel like. The one thing we're still debating is movement. For example, if you have to, cross through multiple regions to get to where you're going, should you be able to teleport around a little bit or not? We're debating that just a little bit, but with enough warp points in there, I don't think that we would need to give you the ability to teleport from one area to another area. You might always be able to teleport back to your home base, which might be interesting. So, H asks, regarding Mega Man's ending, did you see my previous question? No. What's your previous? Oh, what about the other protagonists? With the dialogue system, I think most of what we will do is have unique dialogue. I don't anticipate being able to scope out super unique runs for all of the protagonists. Depends, right? Like I just have no idea what this is going to take. It's very ambitious. Honestly, presenting this to internal devs, now presenting it to you guys, like I feel the weight of the scope, right? Like it's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't have time to build robot master code with all of the other things that have to be done. Maybe I could code one or two or whatever, right? Like I'm going to try to do my part, but if we are in April and we've gotten 2 robot masters coded, then this mode almost needs to be scrapped, right? Like if we can't get the robot master code built, and I'm very open to bringing on more devs as well. Anybody who's willing to just code robot masters patterns. Prime has built a system that works well with the Mega Man Arena. It's really just a matter of analyzing the boss patterns and trying to get it as accurate as possible. But I will say I'm not. If it's 90% accurate, I would rather you get Flashman 90% accurate, and every now and again he does something weird. I would rather it be that than and then move on to coding Heatman, for example, than just spending an extra dozen hours trying to get them 100% correct. So if we can get them 90% correct and move on, and we can refine those over time, then I'm going to be very happy. Oh, see, Prime, I disagree. I would think that it takes the exact same amount of time to get to 90% than it does to go from 90 to 100. So, but that's just me. Like usually it's the 80-20 rule, right? 80% gets 20% of the effort gets you 80% of the way there, and then 80% of the effort gets you the last 20%. So that's the rule that I'm operating under. But Prime knows this better than me. So, so Jose, yes, I agree with what you said there about text boxes are easy to change. With Golden's dialogue system he's putting together, we can have dialogue like crazy. Like when you are getting when you're going around murdering robot masters, like I anticipate you going into the chamber and they start questioning, like, why are you just going around killing people, right? Like,
Yeah, I even think it'd be fun. I don't know if any of you have played Gunvolt before, but in Gunvolt levels, the boss at the end of the stage is talking to you during the whole level. So I think it'd be fun if eventually, or just in some levels, you're exploring their robot master domain and they're just kind of talking with you while you're walking through the stage. That'd be kind of cool. And that's the kind of stuff we can do. We have the flexibility.
Artists, I've told the artists for a while now that, and this is what I've been alluding to, that we're going to have a lot of art requests, but we had to get this presentation, we had to get to a point where we could present this and get to a point where we were ready to start asking for things. So I'm going to be asking for a lot of art. We need like 3 custom tile sets. We're going to need a Wily machine. We're going to need pause menu. You saw the pause menu is brilliant of artwork as Golden has been using. We'll probably go ahead and use other things. Every artifact, there's going to need to be an artifact for every single robot master. And so, again, as cool as the top hat is, maybe we get something a little, I don't know, maybe we'll leave the top hat for Top Man's artifact. I don't know, but so boost icons potentially, boost orbs, that kind of thing. So lots of art requests are going to be coming. And yeah, Prime's right. Like if you don't feel like you can contribute from a dev side, just documenting a robot master's pattern that is a big factor, a big part of writing the code. So yeah, standard enemies. We can move forward without enemies are going to be very important, but like we could actually just like leave enemies out of a stage if we had to, right? Like it's not ideal, but like we have to have the robot master code, so it has to be.
It's not a priority.
And yes, Jose, we're going to start with the first 3 games. I don't care which robot masters are hit first. Right now, the code just uses standard Mega Man Arena AI code if there's no RM code available. So we can do a lot of testing. We can have the alpha testers going nuts on this once we get the first 3 regions done. to make sure that things are working from just a broad scoping or broad gameplay perspective. Even if like Woodman's pattern isn't done, then it'll just, well, you saw him. He just basically sat there and used Leaf Shield, so I'm not sure what he was doing there. But yeah, I want to get the first 3 regions done before we really think about and see how long that takes. I think that we can't launch this with just 2 regions. Like we have to have at least 3 regions. Technically, we have to have at least 4 regions because of the 4 key concept. But we could figure something out there. Okay, well, that's that. If you guys have any now this everything is out there, so you all know what we've been working on. Yeah, we can't always do the challenge. I will say this: the challenge with releasing other regions later is it throws the balance of the game off significantly, because now you've added 6 to 8 new robot masters with artifacts, and so like it's probably fine, because outside of an annihilation run, you're not usually going to go beyond the regions where you have to go, unless you're just curious and you like exploring. But so it won't throw off the balance that badly. But we have to decide like how many for a normal run, how many robot masters should we expect that you have to destroy? And I don't know. So Nightly, I don't know when you joined, so if you could just jog my memory, what was the exact words coming out of my mouth when you joined? Yeah,
I'm sure someone I think is recording this. So
yes, Termina is recording it.
Yeah,
I was just telling a little jokey joke there. Okay, well, that's it. Again, I wanted to keep this as brief as possible. I guess it's somewhat brief. Everybody, feel free to chime in the dev and artist discussion threads about what's going on. If you've got ideas or you want to chat about things or ask a little bit more details about things, happy to kind of talk through it. If you want to play around with this, I can work on getting an export that allows you to walk around and kind of see how it works. I suppose there will be crashes for sure, but maybe we can kind of work towards getting it a little bit more stable and let you guys play around with it. So, dev focus is a good question, H. I don't have a great answer for that. I think that we do need to keep like 4.2 release coming. And it's going to be very difficult to try to build this while also putting out EX stages and new characters. The good news is we have a lot of new characters already in the queue. Alphas already have like 5 that we haven't released that they've been playing with, and I think we have at least another 3 or 4 that are almost fully built out. So we're going to have no shortage of new characters. The bigger concern for me is that the devs are basically going to have to either work on stage mode or adventure mode at one time. So I wouldn't mind making it so that maybe we get these next 4 EX stages out the door and focus on that. And then once the EX stages are done, then we can all kind of turn to adventure mode and try to get stuff done there. But again, short of I will say this is going to be my focus at least. If a couple of you want to keep working on stage mode stages to keep that going while the rest of the devs are working on AI code. The good news is if we develop AI code for adventure mode at the scope we're talking about, we can pretty much make any stage we want after that for stage mode.
Yeah. We'll have all the assets.
Yeah, we're talking tile sets, we're talking enemies, gimmicks, and robot master code. This is at that point, we could almost release every single Mega Man stage in OG format, which I don't know how exciting that is, but it's already all done. I do not want to code Flashman stage. The ice. Oh my goodness. Don't want that. Oh well. Yeah, Prime any stages that use custom sprites, we're just going to pretend like those don't exist. Yeah. Yeah, we can't do that. I am going to need some more. Again, the art team's going to be busy, so we'll see. It would be interesting to. I don't know. You are artists. Would it be hard to make every Robot Master twirl around a platform? I have no idea. We already ignore Mega Man spinning on like crystal stage platforms and such. So yeah, the battery things. Just use AI. Oh my goodness.
Genius. How have we not thought about that?
All right, guys. Yeah, we can keep the conversation going. There's no reason for us to all stick around on the stage here. So, happy to finally get this out there. Artists, be ready. I'm going to start posting some requests. Devs, again, I'm really going to start asking you guys to start making some RM code, and maybe Prime can give you another jump start for those who need it. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Thanks for tuning in.